Hey everyone, thanks for joining us back here at Indie Author Jill. I'm Jill Miller and I review books by self-published authors and indie authors. Today we're talking about Rise of the Dragonwitch by Timothy K. Clark. And this thing, it barely fits in the holder. It just fits. Get in there, yeah. It just fits. It's a thick one. So if you're looking for a fantasy novel where you can get into the world and just like sink right in and just get real comfortable with the world that's been built for you and the characters, then this is definitely a book for you. It's great for if you're stuck inside, with the spring weather, not being able to decide if it's sunny or rainy. This is going to be a good rainy day book. It's going to be a good stuck inside for the winter book. It's going to be a good sit outside in the sunshine and read it book. It is, I've taken this thing everywhere and I get so engrossed in it that I have to set alarms on my phone in order for me to remember to stop reading and go do the thing I have to do, because it's just so good. Hollywood, from everybody who loves movies, stop with the remakes. Give us something original. This is a good example. We want this in a movie. Timothy K. Clark will gladly take your money. So to get right into it, the book is about a girl in college, Finley Maguire. And at first, I hated this character. She is so spoiled and so petty, and she doesn't take accountability for any of her own actions at first. It's always somebody else's fault. There's a guy chasing her. Well, that's gotta be Dad's fault because Dad called me and made me mad, and because he made me mad, I went out with my friends. And the only reason I went out with my friends is because they don't take no for an answer, and she wouldn't let me say no. Say no. If you don't want to go out, you don't have to go out. She is totally spineless. She can't stand up to her father. Her father made her mad because he called her and he's like, I'm disappointed with your grades, and what are these classes you're taking? Those aren't classes we agreed on. And she's like, well, maybe that's not my thing. And he's like, of course it's your thing. And like, not willing to listen to her at all. Okay, fair. We've had parents, some of us have had parents like that they're like, you know what, I understand you have a fun little hobby, but maybe we do something that makes money, okay? Maybe we do something that keeps a roof over your head and food on the table so you're not living at home all the time. Which she wouldn't want to live at home all the time anyway, because she doesn't have a great relationship with her parents. She gets mad at her dad and she attacks things, like literally attacks, like she's calling up people to just mess with his house and doing it, pretending to be her mother so that her mother takes the blame, and her mother's not going to remember not doing it because she's always drunk. Her friends kind of care about her. Like, they go to this movie premiere and they walk in and they don't even realize that Finley got left outside for quite a while. Like, she's already trying to figure out how the heck she's going to get back home because she's stuck in the middle of Manhattan and doesn't want to be there. So then they take her to a party that she doesn't want to go to, and they take selfies with her in the worst possible light just to use as bribery later, so her friends aren't even that great. And she gets kidnapped and taken to this mythical world where everything is, you got mermaids, you've got dragons, you've got dinosaurs, giant spiders, rabid hobbits, I'm guessing is what Syrah is. Harpies, I don't know if Kasuma is actually a harpy, but she flies like a harpy, she's described like a harpy, probably a harpy. Giants and Planet of the Ape Men, like everything you have seen in fantasy novels, it's all in this book, you know? And she goes there and she can't get back home. She is just stuck there forever. And at first, she's like, no, you gotta get me back home. But then when she's talking about what she wants to get back home for, it's none of the people. She doesn't she doesn't care about her dad, she doesn't care about her mom, she's not missing her friends, she's missing hot water and a spa and a nail salon and all these other things. Like, she's missing things and concepts. She's not missing any of the people. So I think that speaks a lot to how her life at home was, that, you know, she wasn't happy, obviously. Shush. So, you know, yeah, she wasn't happy at home, obviously. At least she didn't care about the people she was with. And as she's in this world, she quickly starts having some kind of a relationship with the people. Like, at first she's like, I hate all of you. Every single one of you. Words cannot describe how much I hate all of you. But as she's getting to know them, she starts bonding with them. Her first bonding session is with Ferric, the guy that kidnapped her and claims that she's the chosen one. And she's like, no, chosen one things don't actually exist, and I am definitely not the chosen one. And he's like, no, they described you in detail. And she says, really? They described a rich, really cute, kind of panicky heiress. Okay. And he's like, not in those words, but yes. And but as she's talking to him, one of the others, Gunnar, gets kind of sassy with her and spouts off and kind of turns and walks away. And Finley, being the spoiled brat that she is, flips her off, and Ferric is just kind of looking at her and looking at Gunnar and looking back at her, and he's like, I understand what that means. I've never done it before, but I'm doing it now. And so she basically bonds with Ferric by teaching him rude gestures. As they're traveling, my favorite scenes when they were traveling is early on when she's bonding with Ferric, like I said, but then also at one point it's getting dark and they're getting ready to camp down, but they go a little bit further and she's kind of given up. Her legs won't go any further, and all of a sudden she hears something in the woods, and she's just thinking it's got to be those giant spiders that Gunnar was talking about. So she eventually freaks out, and she's like panicking, and she's just running, and she's hearing things crashing behind her, and she's like, I'm not even going to stay and find out what's happening, which, fair. Run. And she gets to the clearing, and she tries to stand up, and she's like, oh yeah, just took care of one of those giant arachnid things all by myself, no big deal, thanks for the help, guys. And then she finds out that they know she's full of it, and that maybe a harpy, maybe not a harpy, Kasuma was the one that took care of it. And she's like, yeah, least I can do, no problem. And she's just like, okay. And she just kind of goes off and pouts by herself for a while. But after they get where they can, they start to get into a city where they can kind of really start to train her. And it's during this training montage is one of my favorites. It's my favorite part because it's when you start seeing why Finley is worth rooting for. Because up to this point, you're like, you guys are going to die because you have this girl with you. She's going to get you killed. You know, just feed her to an arachnid and go on. And they get into these different situations where I don't want to tell you about the situations necessarily to get into the city because it would ruin it. But they do get into the city, and Baylor is my absolute favorite character because he starts off, he is just this giant of a man. He is big and burly and strong, and he's intelligent, and you just love it, man. He immediately is trying to take care of Finley. You know, he takes care of her, it seems, out of a great respect for Ferric. He does not believe in the prophecy any more than anybody else does, and he just keeps going along with it because of Ferric. When Ferric says, hey, this is the right thing, Baylor is just like, okay, let's see where this goes then. Like, Baylor has such a respect for what he calls the magician, Ferric, and he's willing to do a lot of things for Ferric, but he's really willing to do a lot of things for Finley. Like, I don't know if it is because he starts kind of having respect for her, because he has no reason to have respect for her at all up until even when they're trying to sneak into the city, he has no reason to respect her or care about her. But even when she is at her weakest and she is in the woods and they're like, you just gotta stick with us. Like, you can run off, but you're gonna die in these woods because there's dinosaurs and there's giant spiders and there's things that will eat you, and not think twice about it, and you have no idea how to fight any of them off. And Baylor is very watchful of everything around her, so I don't know if it's just that he respects her because of Ferric, or if he starts to, if there's something about her mannerism that makes him feel like, okay, you don't belong here, and I feel sorry for you, but I also know that you're gonna be okay, you know. And so, like, at one point she's sleeping and there's something weird crawling on her, and he picks it up and kills it for her so that she doesn't get poisoned by it. But like I said, I don't know if that's just because, okay, I've got to keep you alive because I respect Ferric and Ferric wants you to stay alive, or because, oh, this poor child has no idea what she's getting herself into, and now I have to protect her because otherwise she's gonna die. But they get into a situation, and the first person in this team, because Ferric is the only one that wants her on the team, everybody else is like, she's gonna get us killed. And the first person of that you're gonna get us killed group that bonds with Finley is Baylor, because of her helping him through. Baylor gives, I'm probably showing my age here, but Baylor gives B.A. Baracus from A-Team energy, because he's big, he's bad, he's tough, he's strong, and you get him into a closed-in space and he starts having a panic attack. And Finley immediately recognizes, oh, you have claustrophobia. And he says, I do not have claustrophobia, I just don't like tight places. And so she helps him through this panic attack, and that's when he starts to really show his respect for her that has nothing to do with Ferric. And then they get into the city, and that's when they start their training. And from there, and then they're back into the woods again, and they're the journey really doesn't start until they leave the city, and then it's just off from there. But they have this beautiful little bit of downtime where they can have some training. They have weeks of training with her, and as she's training with each member, she starts to kind of bond with them a little bit more. And it's fun to watch them go from, I hate you and I think I'm wasting my time, to, you know, you might not get us killed. You're probably going to live longer than I thought you would, but at least you won't get me killed. You know. Fripp and Timur, I think I'm saying those names right, are great with teaching her. They've got a good cop, bad cop vibe going on, where one of them, they're both very witty, and they joke around and they play around, and they are they're everywhere they are is one of their favorite places to be, and they're always having a good time. And when they're teaching Finley, there's one that's like, okay, you're gonna make mistakes, I'm gonna let you. And the other one is like, maybe we could save her a little bit of pain and heartache. No. The first one's like, no, we're gonna let her learn everything the hard way. She'll figure it out. And she does learn everything the hard way. She has these really great moments with the group individually, when she can be by herself with them, when she's just talking to Timur and Fripp. She's learning something from each one of them, and so she's learning about why Gunnar prefers the axe over any other weapon, and why she thinks it's the superior weapon. She learns archery and to calm herself from Timur and Fripp. She's learning how important it is to be willing to just give it your all from Sarah. And as she's learning these different aspects from each of them, she's really coming into her own, and you start to really see, okay, Ferric wasn't looking at the spoiled little brat that was sitting in a Manhattan college dorm silently defying her father and throwing a little temper tantrum. He saw the potential of what she could become. And she learns these things, I wouldn't say easily. She even tells you it wasn't easy. But as she gets into this world, she stops being the chosen one and starts choosing the world that she's in. And like I said, as she's going, she very quickly forgets her parents, forgets her friends, forgets her professors. She doesn't care about any of them. It's when she's in the woods and she's like, man, I know we're in the woods and I know it's a little bit of a primitive setting, but I'm kind of missing... I could use a spa day. I could use a hot tub, if I'm being totally honest with you guys. But, like, she gets so far as, like, I'll take a porta potty at this point. Because they spend a lot of time in the woods in the beginning, and she's just like, I don't like any of this. But she quickly steps in to this role of, I don't know this world and I don't owe this world anything, but I will do everything in my power to save it and to save the inhabitants of the world. She really quickly, like I said, she just it happens quickly considering how, again, she thick, okay? Like, the good first couple of chapters, she's, like, you've got the wrong person. She's agreeing with the rest of the crew. She's like, no, I'm not the chosen one. They're right. You're insane. Take me home. But as she's getting to know the creatures and she's understanding the problem of what's at stake, she realizes, I can't just sit back and do nothing. I can't just exist in this world like I did in my old world. I didn't care about my old world. I just existed there. But this world, she loves it. She loves this world, and she loves the people in it, all the different species, even the ones that are trying to kill her, she's in awe of. And she sees the value. She wants to save it. And that's what makes her the hero of the book. That, like I said, she stops being the chosen one and starts doing the choosing. She finally stops putting the blame on anyone else and just stands up and says, I'm doing this. And I'm choosing to do this. And I want to do this. And yeah, I love this character so much. I love this world. He is Timothy K. Clark, who is on Threads now, is currently working on the return of the Dragonwitch. I don't know if that's actually what he's going to call it. If you're a writer, you know how titles work. Sometimes you start with a title and you're like, it's the perfect title, and then you like, let's change that. You know? But he is working on it. He is 12,000 words in? Yeah, 1,200. He's about 1,200 words in, and but he's got it all outlined. He says it's all plotted out, and he's already 1,200 words in, which for Timothy Clay Clark means he wrote the prologue. Probably. Sorry, Timothy. It's so thick. This is if Hollywood turned this into a movie, it would be like 3 or 4 parts. Just this alone. It would have to be, because otherwise they would cut out so much. And anybody who reads this, didn't get it back in there real quick, right? Anybody who reads this, if it got turned into a movie, they wouldn't want any of the parts cut out. There's so many good parts, and so much of it just can't be cut out. You can't cut it out without HBO, Hulu, Netflix, turn it into a series. We'll take a series. We would love a series. He's working on the next one. By the time you get this one done, he'll be done with the next one. He'll take your money too. Please, make this a movie. If you want your own copy, link is in the description below right now. On Amazon, it is $17.99, which, again, she thick. It's worth it. But yeah, buy the book. This deserves an epic fandom. It's so good. And if you want to try and read one of my books, they're not going to be nearly as good as this, but I'll put a link in the description for that too. And yeah, and I will also put a link to Timothy K. Clark, his book, and I will see if he's okay with me putting a link to his socials, and if he is, I'll put a link to that too. But it's so good. Guys, go buy the book. Also, the stacks are getting bigger. By all means. I love reading these books. I've got a few that I'm looking forward to this one here. That one's got a line. Okay. But yeah, I am so ready to, let's see, which one is this one down here? This bottom one, Adeline Rising, that's the next one I'm going to read. But this, go buy this book right now. And if you are an indie author and you want me to review your book, if you want it considered for review for the channel, send it to Jill Miller at P.O. Box 40, Limestone, Tennessee 37681. I'll add it to the stacks and I'll tag you in the, just make sure you include your Threads handle or your Facebook or some way that I can tag you so that people can see your book and you can show it. But yeah, until next time, I'll see you later, and please, it is my goal to be buried under books. Go ahead and bury me under books. I'm fine with it. Alright, bye guys.